Hello mi gente and welcome back to Nata Knows Best, my channel dedicated to all things food. So during the holidays, everyone is looking for recipes that you can cook on low heat and completely forget about. And the perfect recipes for that are ones that use meat. So get ready because in today's episode, we're gonna be making ropa vieja, aka Puerto Rican braised beef. So a great ropa vieja starts with a great cut of meat. Now, most people choose flank steak because after you cook this meat on low, you're going to shred it. And flank steak is really good for shredded beef, but I decided to use a more fatty, marbled piece of meat. So I have some chuck right here, and I'm going to sear this first on all sides to get a really good crust, and then we'll start on the low and slow process. So the first thing I'm going to do is season our beef. I'm going to add some coarse salt. Push that in. And this is roughly about 3 pounds. So I have a Dutch pot on high heat and I'm going to sear our chuck on each side to give it a nice color. All right, so our steak has a great sear, so I'm going to lower the heat, take it off, and I'm going to start building our flavors in this same pot. So in our Dutch pot that has all the beef renderings, I'm going to add about 1 cup of homemade sofrito. If you guys have never made my sofrito recipe, I'll link it somewhere in the video. Go ahead and try it out because this is going to give any of your Puerto Rican dishes so much flavor. Sofrito is a great condiment to any Puerto Rican dish. It holds really well in the freezer. What I typically do is make a large batch and then have some in the fridge if I'm going to use it immediately. And then the remainder of it, I'll just keep it in the freezer. And this literally will last months. And it's filled with fresh herbs and aromatics. And this is just a great base to any flavor that you're going to build. So here I have our sofrito sauteing. You want to cook this until it becomes aromatic. And once it does, you can go ahead and add some stuffed olives. That's very typical in Puerto Rican cuisine. However, I'm not a big fan of stuffed olives, so I won't be adding them in. So I'll go skip that step and I'll add my blend of spices. In here, I have cumin, granulated garlic, some oregano, and even some paprika. Next, I'm going to add my all-purpose seasoning. This is adobo. Next, I'm going to add 2 packets of sazon. This is sazon with culantro and achote. This is going to give our base some beautiful color, which ultimately will give our sauce a beautiful color as well. I'm going to continue building flavor by adding 6 ounces of tomato paste. Next, I'm going to add some crushed tomatoes. So our ropa vieja is finally done, and I served it with some white rice, which is pretty typical. You could also serve it with some sweet plantains, maybe some black beans on the side. But I'm gonna go ahead and dig right in. This is such a feel-good dinner. The meat, because we seared it first, has a really nice crust. And then once we started simmering it on low with all those extra flavors and seasonings, it really turned into something that is so delicious and so easy to make. If you guys are looking for a slow cooker meal, you can definitely make this in a slow cooker, or you could do what I did and just have it low and slow in the oven to get the best results. The meat is tender, it's juicy, and the sofrito that we added to it definitely gives it more of that Puerto Rican style. This ropa vieja is definitely something that your grandma would make. It just feels so good and comforting. I'm gonna take one last bite. All right, mi gente, there you have it. That's how I make ropa vieja, aka Puerto Rican style braised beef. If you guys are looking for a slow cooking meal, something that you can just put on low heat and just completely forget about, this is definitely a recipe you need to try. Remember, I'm going to link this recipe along with my sofrito recipe in my Nata Knows Boricua playlist. I'm gonna link that right here. Remember, we also have episodes dropping every Wednesday at 6 p.m. So please stay tuned. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Nata Knows Best.